Thanks for joining us on our comic book coffee break. I'm Nick Gunning.
I'm Eric Mickles, known online as Dusk versus Tweak.
Eric, guess what?
What?
My Halloween costume came.
Finally, November
It's
22nd.
But look at this nice Green Lantern hoodie, right?
Yeah.
Picture that with the mask. I put the ring on just for you. I mean,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You're going to have the best Thanksgiving ever.
Happy Halloween, you son of a bitch. All right, let's
Brightest
see.
day.
Where do we got?
And turkey.
I was going to tell you what I was drinking.
Turkey shall escape your sight.
Listen, I am drinking a special kind of coffee today, and there's a story behind it, one that you won't find interesting, but I'm going to tell it because I can't be stopped. I'm drinking Port of Mocha coffee, Eric, with a little cream and some Irish cream syrup. On Wednesday, my wife and I celebrated our 14th wedding anniversary. And I don't know if you've been following the news, but there's a global pandemic on.
Yeah, something about that because of your honeymoon.
We were trying to order in some special things, and we ordered this cheesecake from New York City. And we made a mistake because I got one with fruit on it, but like when it thawed, the fruit just made it all like soggy. It was very unpleasant. I got this Port of Mocha coffee that comes from Yemen. It's supposed to be like the best coffee in the world. And we made it and just didn't like it. So, and then we watched New Mutants. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But not everything went according to plan for that at-home anniversary party. What about you? What do you got? This is my solid red Starbucks mug. It's white on the inside.
It's just a solid red mug. We're not paying for that.
Oh, sorry. Just a solid red mug. No brand endorsements.
Yeah, I was on a Zoom call before this, so I've just got my mug of water at the moment. I didn't even grab any. And you know what?
Zooming with? Why wasn't I invited?
It was my mom and my sisters.
Yeah, I could get in on that.
My little nephew.
Yeah, sure. I can talk to kids. Jeez. I'd be great with that kid. What's his name?
Tobias.
Yeah, and he's got that thick black hair. I know about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next time.
All right, next time I'll send you a link to the Zoom room so we can can just talk about the shows my mom won't watch because she's not really into those kind of shows.
Well, this show is brought to you by the Radio Meanwhile Network.
Yeah. You can find more about the show and others like it at our network's website, radiomeanwhile.com, as well as Twitter.
That's right. Now, Eric, let's talk Herbie the Love Bug.
That's not what we talk. We just said,
okay,
if this is not called Herbie the Love Bug break.
You're right. Let's talk comics. Let's talk comics. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, and I know you've already seen the doc, so you know, I had a weird week in comics this week, my friend. Why don't you start by telling me one of the... I got to ask you a question, because I know that you read a new Joker book. Why do you do it?
Why do I do what?
Why do you read Joker books? You don't like Joker books. I've never known you to like a Joker book.
I like Joker books.
Liar. Name one.
White Knight. White Knight.
Okay, you were very critical of White Knight when it first came
out. Lovers and Mad Men.
Like the animated series?
No, Lovers and Mad Men. And it was one I threw up during my Batman moment. Okay. It's kind of like a retelling of his origin.
Right. Okay, but you don't like the Killing Joke. You don't like anything by Brian Azzarello.
I don't love the Killing Joke. I do not care for Brian Azzarello. Going Sane. No, the Going Sane was more interesting than not.
Okay.
I don't know. It's all right. So you want me to start then with my
tell me about this
Joker
thing
with my Joker book?
Yeah.
Okay. I read Joker Killer Smile by I should have his name. Jeff Lemire. The art was Andre Sorrentino, whose art I feel like I've seen. Old Man Logan. He was the artist on the Old Man Logan series at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? I thought it was Oh no, because the other artist was there whenever they did flashbacks to the Wasteland. So yeah, he was the main artist on that. He worked with Jeff Lemire and Gideon Falls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's part of the DC Black label. I don't know what Jeff Lemire's really going for here. It's a psychologist talking to the Joker, which we've seen before, and thinking like, oh, if we can cure him, think of all the people we can cure after him. And it's just like,
well I mean, isn't that the plot to James DeMatteis is Going Sane?
I mean, that's Harley Quinn's origin.
Okay.
So I don't know what the difference is, like, this guy is going to his family, and maybe things aren't really right with his family, so maybe, like, talking to the Joker is having a negative effect on him, which is a thing we've seen, I feel like, 100 times before. And the art, like, the art is stylized, but it's not an art I would want to buy a prestige book for. I feel like the art is kind of going for the Grant Morrison's Arkham Asylum bit. I didn't really get this at all, like what the point was. The Joker breaks out and Batman has to choose the Joker or the guy that is the psychologist. But, like, I don't know. Nothing about it seemed to be like he was treating the Joker, but the stuff that was going on in the psychologist's personal life didn't really seem connected.
Right.
I was confused. I mean, when I was thinking these big prestige books, like that Harleen book was, like, gorgeous. And this one, I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, the art's fine, but I don't know. So it was 3 issues. This is not one that I would necessarily recommend. It's a strange one. And Jeff Lemire, I guess when he's trying to be like this, he can be kind of hit or miss.
Okay.
So. Anyway, I think I'm kind of caught up. Oh, no, because I haven't read Batman Last Night on Earth. I need to read that
I've
still.
read that.
But I'm almost caught up with, like, all the DC Black Label stuff.
Wow.
So.
Did you read Batman Damned?
Yeah, that was, like, the first one I read, and I did not like it because I didn't connect that it was Brian Azzarello.
Penis version, not penis version. Which one did you read?
I read the hardcover, so...
Post-penis.
Post-penis.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I read a little DC with some art that I didn't like. It was Black Lightning, Brick City Blues by
I've
Tony
got those
Isabella.
Brick City Blues. I got those brick... show just got canceled. Or it's ending, season 4, Black Lightning.
Yes,
but...
and launching a spin-off. So
yeah.
it's sort of...
Which is...
Black Lightning... yes.
Well, I don't know. I haven't watched the Crisis on Earth, but it's weird because I'm pretty sure that whole thing made Black Lightning part of the Arrowverse officially.
Yes.
And now, and they do that, and now they're canceling it. And it's just kind of like,
well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing with Supergirl and everything. It's
yeah.
Like they set this whole thing up, and then, like, Ruby Rose is out from Batwoman.
Yeah.
You know, and no Supergirl, so, like, no camaraderie there. And then finally we have Black Lightning, but they're sort of done. I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you what the CW is thinking, because I know they've also got this new Wonder Girl series in the works based on the new Future State thing. So
strange.
I'm not sure. But this Black Lightning collection, actually, I can see a lot of...
Lightning?
I can see a lot of... Yeah. Yes. It's Black Lightning, of course, created by Tony Isabella and Trevor Von Eaton. This is written by Tony Isabella, but it's got different art. And let me tell you, you miss a Trevor Von Eaton in this Black Lightning Brick City Blues because it is among the ugliest books I've ever read.
Wow.
It's a style and it's locked in, and I get it. It's not to my taste. I really, that made it so I didn't enjoy the book, I think, as much as I would have otherwise. But a lot of the things that they pull from the series, like elements of the Black Lightning character and story and his relationship.
I thought his element was lightning.
They're coming from this Brick City Blues. And in fact, CW's even used some of the imagery in, like, promotion when they're, like, tying it into the comic books, which is interesting because this is like the red, white, and blue costume, so it's a little different than, you know, what you're typically used to with the Black Lightning.
Is it supposed to be red, white, and blue? On the cover, it looks yellow, red, and blue.
Oh, maybe it's yellow.
Okay.
I don't know. As far as Black Lightning goes, I mean, the original stuff, I haven't read Batman and the Outsiders, but this actually had a lot of continuity with Batman. But, like, it wasn't a reboot, you know, it was picking up, like, the character has aged since the 70s. He did the whole outsider situation as sort of back into the Black Lightning.
Mm-hmm. That's basically mode. The plot of the show, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. But I did like how it kept that continuity, and Batman played a very minor role in it. But his relationship with Batman was kind of key to it in certain places. And again, I mean, it was cool having seen. I'm not up to date on the show, but what I've seen from the show, I did see a lot of parallels here. So I would still recommend reading the 70s, like Tony Isabella, Trevor Von Eaton Black Lightning run, if you were going to pick only one. But this, if you're okay with the art, you know, there's plenty here. It is dark. The story gets very uncomfortably dark in ways that I didn't appreciate, but, you know. So that was it for me in DC this week. This was a long one. The app only has, I think, the first 6 issues on it, but we had the full collection of 13 issues in a Kwanzaa special that was in the library. So I checked this out from the library and finished it that way. And now it's your turn.
Okay, I guess I felt like there was more coming after that.
No, I was just telling you that's all I got.
All right.
So I'm just saying, if you want to follow it in the app, you're only going to get the first 6 issues. But it does sort of change creative teams, so you're probably okay with just the first 6 issues, but you miss the Batman stuff that way.
Speaking of heroes who retire...
Okay.
And then...
Eddie Newell was the illustration.
Okay. Speaking of heroes retiring and then having to get back in the game for maybe one last ride, I rewatched Logan. Yeah. For my Previously on X-Men podcast that I do with Hillary Gunning. Because Logan's the next one. I've been not hesitant. I've not been hesitant, but I have been slow to put it into the Blu-ray player because it's just an emotional ride for me. I'm gonna get into it a lot on Previously on X-Men.
Yes, I imagine. And it's going to be a longing.
I know a lot of the stuff that gets me emotionally with Logan has to do with like very like personal things, not stuff that like people would be like, oh yeah, I feel that with that movie. But it's just so well done. It's just so. I mean, it has a moment of two where I'm like, okay, can we pick up the pace a little bit? But it's just so. The first 40 minutes are like so intense. They're just so intense. Like from the beginning to them trying to escape with Lara and Professor X and like get across the tracks. It's intense. And I told myself I'm not going to cry at the end of this movie. And so what I did was cry during multiple parts of this movie.
Oh,
you know what? 2020 has been an emotional year. Okay.
Out, brother.
You know what it is? I probably say this on Previously on X-Men. It's also just watching adults be effing adults is starting to get me emotional these days. Yeah, watching people do their damn jobs is getting me now. So, you know, in 2020, watching Logan having to step up and like be Wolverine for like a couple of minutes at a time, it's like, I want that right now. I want to be Wolverine and just go out and solve problems. But I mean, I guess I couldn't solve social issues with Wolverine claws.
No, probably not.
But, probably not. The point is, just watching grown-ups be adults. Anyway, and it is sad. At the end, I get sad. But yes, it's still very well done. I mean, the Wolverine series is just so crazy. That trilogy, like, how it just, like, they just go, like, they get better and better. I don't think watching X-Men Origins, anyone would have guessed we were going to get, like, this was going to be a series that became, like, one of the best, that, like, Logan would be one of the best of these movies, period.
I don't think so.
Like, people hold it up there with, like, The Dark Knight and, you know, the prestige superhero films now. I don't think we would have ever,
Now we just got to see if James Mangold can get that same kind of atmosphere out of Indiana Jones 5, right?
Oh, that's right. Gosh. Logan, please, Logan.
So still thumbs up with Logan.
Yeah, okay. It's so good. And I stand by the fact that if Patrick Stewart had done that performance in any other prestige drama, he would have at least been nominated for an Oscar.
I absolutely agree with that. I remember, we talked about this on the All the Book show back when this came out, but Logan did get a screenplay nod.
For adaptation.
In the Academy Awards. That was as close as it came.
You know what's strange? In the end, there's a list where it says special thanks to, and they list a bunch of comic book creators, but Mark Millar's not in there for, you know, Old Man Logan, but they listed a lot of people who had an influence writing Wolverine and X-23 and everything. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know. Didn't look. There might be something in there that says like adapted from the story by Mark Millar, but also it isn't.
Right. So, yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Well, speaking of Marvel movies.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's...
not Disney.
Yeah, let's...
I watched the New Mutants, finally. This is what we watched on our wedding anniversary.
Yeah, do you know, I didn't know this was out on physical media until you sent a picture of it.
Oh, yeah.
No, I have not seen... They have not been advertising that this exists at all.
So have you seen it yet?
No, I didn't know. And then I was like, I wonder if my library's going to get a copy. I should just buy the movie. But then, because it's a Disney release. That means it's not on Amazon right now.
Right.
You have to get it through a third-party vendor, and I'm not going into Target. And also, it's like $25. So I found out that it's $6 to rent on stream just today. So I might actually watch it tonight.
Oh, okay.
So I've got to watch it to watch it.
Yes.
And then I'm going to watch it again when we cover it for Previously on X-Men.
If you watch it tonight, keep an eye out for a scene from Logan, because in the opening or the ending credits of New Mutants, it said footage from Logan, courtesy of Fox Studios.
Oh.
I didn't pick up on it, and neither did my wife. So I don't know if it was just sort of like a blink and you miss it kind of thing, or if it was from a different version of the movies. I don't know, but I didn't catch it. I guess I don't want to say much about it. I don't want to. I mean, you're going to feel how you feel. There's nothing I can say that will change that.
Yeah, so go ahead. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Was it good? Was it bad? I've seen not great reviews, but I also saw one that was like, it's not the worst we've ever seen.
Yeah, well, I guess that's kind of how I landed on. We watched it, and I was never, like, I enjoyed it the whole time. Tonally, it goes in some directions where you're like, what is this movie? Like, what is this? You know, there's a couple of times where it just seems like that's an easy cut. Like, that doesn't fit, you know. So there's a couple weird choices there. At the end of it, sort of felt like it was an interesting, like, pilot for a new, like, Netflix series. You know what I mean? Like,
I know people who thought that this was a series.
Yeah, it does feel much more like a series. And I think in part because of it all takes place in the same.
Well, also, a lot of the actors are TV people. Yeah. I mean, you have, now I can't remember, but you got the kid from Stranger Things. You've got Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones. You've got Anna Taylor-Joy. Is it Anna Taylor-Joy?
Yes, she's Magik.
Yeah. She's on the Queen's Gambit right now on Netflix. Right. So you've got a lot, but like this movie was filmed, like these actors are now like 3 years older in real life.
Well, we sort of finished it and we were just like, that was fine. You know, like it wasn't, but it's hard not to feel like, why did we wait this long? Like, why didn't they just put this out 3 years ago?
Well, okay,
like,
so is it a horror movie at all? Because that's the thing. It was when they released the trailer, it looked like a horror movie. And then everybody responding to that trailer like, oh, they made it a horror movie. They're like, we're going to do reshoots and make it even scarier. But then Disney bought Fox, and so the reshoots never happened. So the movie you watched, as far as I know, is the version that we would have gotten if they had released the movie like the day after the original trailer.
Right, yeah.
So...
Well, there are horror elements. I think particularly in Magik's story, there is a bit of a horror element there. And I could definitely see where, if you went back in and made it a true horror movie, I feel like that would have been a good choice, honestly. Because it did feel a little, I don't know, it felt a little PG in places, you know, like it just felt a little like this is because it's so common to see these like teen shows with a group of teens like in some hospital, you know what I mean? Like that's just not a super.
When I was a teen, I was only at hospitals. It's like, hey kids, hey guys, let's go. I don't know why I said hey kids as a teen. I guess that's how I refer to my friends. Maybe. So yeah, it's weird. It's just I'm sad I'm seeing an X-Men movie not in theaters, but it's whatever. I'm gonna watch it, and then I'll have to watch it again, no matter what.
I would like to get your predictions on some of the following. Do you think the X-Men or any specific X-Men characters are ever name dropped within the movie?
I do not think. I don't know, because it seemed like because this came out at such a weird time, there are rumors going around that they even took out like the phrase mutants and stuff, like tried to divorce it from the X-Men franchise as much as they could. But it's called the New Mutants. So any X-Men connection is going to be very surprising to me. So yeah, I'm very interested to see what this looks like. This will not be me be like, where's the real cut of the film?
Right.
So, and I'm gonna own it. I mean, I own X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Sure do.
But now,
and you own Suicide Squad on Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure.
Did any of the characters stand out to you specifically?
I mean,
because really you're not a New Mutants fan. In the comics.
I read the first couple of volumes of like New Mutants Classic. I read some of the Claremont stuff. I think acting wise, I was probably most impressed with the character or the actress who played Moonstar. Is that her name?
Yeah, Danny.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was most intrigued by the character of Magik, who I knew
that's gonna
nothing
happen.
about.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. She's basically the New Mutants Wolverine.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she was cool. I really liked her. And so, are you ready for me to move on to my next thing?
Yeah, let's transition. Segue.
I read X-Men Magik, Storm and Illyana. And I gotta say, that is a misnomer if ever there was one, because Storm is basically like a cameo in that collection.
She's... And it's not Storm. It's like an alternate reality witch Storm. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, this was just weird. And having skipped so much New Mutants, it was just kind of a strange place to sit. I don't really think that I would be like, if you're interested in that character, go read the Magik miniseries. But what do you think?
I liked this. I really liked it. But it is very heavy in continuity with the X-Men stuff, like with her relationship with the X-Men and her brother, and like getting through that portal and everything. From what I've seen of the movie, like in the trailers and stuff, it seems like you should just read the Demon Bear saga, which has Magik and those characters and stuff, and maybe you'd be better. It's all like in a hospital at night. Yeah, I don't know but this is also like Magik's, origin story, really. And I liked it, but it's dark. This is a dark story.
Yeah, it is. Yep. That's all I read from Marvel.
Oh, that's it? I mean, it's nothing else about this book?
Well, I mean, like I said, I read the early Claremont stuff, and then I jumped to this. I still think it's an interesting character. I am intrigued at it, and I was looking on the app to see what there was. And there is a more recent New Mutant series which really follows Magik and is clearly patterned after the look in the movie. So,
are you talking Dead Souls?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a weird one. And it's not. You talking about the titles being a misnomer? It's not really also New Mutants. It deals with a lot of characters from X Factor. Like I think Strong Guy is in there. Yeah,
so there's that, and then there's like a series proper that picks up after that. So I put issue 1 of both of those on my reading list. So when I get there, I'll check them out.
Yeah, and then I don't remember which one Dead Souls was now. There's Chris Claremont did one recently. It was like a standalone, and then there was a 4-issue mini. Anyway, yes, this was one that I did enjoy reading actually, because I was reading the New Mutants, and then I read this because she was about to join the New Mutants, and I found this much more intriguing than the New Mutants comics that I had been reading. So, yeah, I gotta get back to that. I gotta get back to reading those books.
Get back on board.
All right. Well, I guess the other segue is watching Logan, which is a slightly inspired by Mark Miller.
I'm feeling it.
I read 2 Mark Miller comics this week. I read Prodigy. I can say that. Prodigy. I read Prodigy. Yeah.
You mean Prodigy?
Prodigy. What am I saying? Prodigy? Oh my gosh.
That's nothing.
All right.
Prodigy.
Goodbye, everybody. I'm off to join the New Mutants. My mutants' powers, I can't tell my G's from D's. Prodigy, The Evil Earth, by Mark Miller, and Raphael. Wait, is this the same? No. Raphael Albuquerque. I hope I said that right. Gosh, what? I recognize the art, I thought. But maybe... Oh, of course I do. American Vampire. Scott Snyder's American Vampire. Right. And Huck. He did the art for Huck, which you read.
I read Huck.
So Prodigy is about the smartest kid in the world becoming older and like solving problems. And this is a thing that Mark Miller likes to write about, the smartest people in the world stuff. Like he likes writing Reed Richards. He likes writing, there are characters in the Ultimates that were like this. The characters that are like, oh, when they were 12, they composed their first symphony. Or even younger than that. There was the Gorgon in his Wolverine Enemy of the State series was like that. So he writes these smartest characters in the world, but he is not the smartest writer in the world. You know? So it's you just kind of imagine what like a bro would think the smartest man in the world is like. So anyways, the series, this book is serviceable for the most part. I mean, it's kind of this this character who's smarter than everybody, having action adventures. He can time things right. He's kind of addicted to risk, even though he's so smart. But then in the end, there's a betrayal, and he's able to figure out the betrayal because of a piece of information that the person did not relay or didn't relay correctly. And you read it, I'm like, well, this is not a twist. This is not something the smartest person in the world would fail. This would just be something that, like, anybody who could do the research, like, anybody in this guy. So it's supposed to be like, I'm so smart. Of course I didn't fall for this. Like, a person doesn't. Anyway, so, like, that really kind of pissed me off because it's like, I get that you want to write the smartest person in the world, but you don't have to treat the readers like they're dumb to do that.
Yeah. Right.
And it did not. Yeah, it didn't work for me. So I didn't care for this one. I also read another Mark Miller book called Space Bandits.
Oh yeah, that's part of the Air Bud series, right? There was Space Bandits, Santa Bandits, right? That whole thing.
Yep. Space Buddies leads to Space Bandits.
Little golden retrievers up there in space talking.
So Space Bandits, who's the artist here? The artist for Space Bandits is Matteo Scalera.
Now Air Bud didn't talk, correct?
Air Bud didn't talk, no.
He just played football and soccer and basketball, but the children can talk.
Can they? I haven't watched the Buddy films.
In the Space Buddies.
That's what you're asking me. No.
Okay.
So Matteo Scalera has worked with Rick Remender on Black Science, and it looks like he worked a little bit on Mark Waid's Daredevil, but I couldn't tell you when. So the art is definitely noticeable. So it starts off with this thing that says, like, it wasn't until the 90s that the 80s got to the Midwest. Imagine how long it took to get to space. And so now we're in the future in space, and, like, it's supposed to be 80s influence. I'm like, oh, this could be fun. But that is not something that is used at all. Like, at the beginning, there's a ship called the
Bon Jovi?
No, who sings Hello?
Lionel Richie?
Lionel Richie, yeah. There's a ship called the Lionel Richie, and then that's it. And there's this element of it that feels like like Mark Miller really likes the anime Space Dandy and wanted to do it. I don't know. It seemed like a cross between Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy a bit. What
was that Liv Tyler movie we watched that was like
Space Station 77.
Yeah, like versions, like 70s version of Space. Yeah. So similar idea. But
no. It's still it's like the style. Everything about the style, like the clothes and pop culture in it are supposed to be 80s. The tech isn't 80s.
Yeah. Right. I see.
So that's not a thing. And then it's the story of these two women. One has been betrayed by her boyfriend and sentenced to jail, and the other one was betrayed by her bandit group and left for dead. And they meet, and they go on a killing spree revenge against the people who wronged them. But the thing is, this issue with Mark Miller that you can see in a lot of his work, and a lot of it, like I remember Ultimate X-Men kind of had this way. The characters he tends to write very interchangeable characters. And so with this, you have character work missing. There's no character work. So even though these characters are dealing with they're out on a personal revenge, you don't really connect because there's nothing really about these characters other than motive, I guess. Like instead of character, there's plot, I guess. And it's just, it doesn't work because like he's making a lot of these characters out to be characters that we're supposed to be into or think are cool. But it just, I don't know. I gave both of these volumes 2 stars. They just didn't do it. That Magik one I read, Magic Order, was fine. But I also thought there was a little bit more character work in it. So, I don't know. Yeah, I thought Space Bandits would be like dumb fun, but it turned out just to be dumb.
Yeah, it sounds fun. Not too bad.
So, what else have you read?
The last thing I read this week.
Oh, wow. It is a weird week for you.
Yeah, was Check Please, Book 1, Hockey.
Yeah, what is this? Is this an Archie thing?
No, it's not an Archie thing.
Okay, the character looks very much like Archie. He's holding a pie?
Yeah.
Is he a waiter doing hockey?
It's by Nagazi Ukazu, and it's one that was nominated for the Goodreads Choice Awards, a graphic novel this year.
Okay.
And so far, there are 2 hardcovers out, and they collect 2 years of. I think they came out as individual like years of college. So this was like freshman, sophomore, and he's like a figure skater who he goes to college and is on like the hockey team, and also is a baker, and is little, but is also a little bit good at hockey, and sort of has a crush on the captain, whose dad is like hockey royalty. So it's very strange. I mean, it's this guy, Biddy, is his name, and it's narrated by him doing like a video blog, a vlog, I guess is what you would have said in 2002. But he's just kind of going through his year like as a baker and as a former figure skater who's now a hockey player. So,
And you picked it up because of the Goodreads Choice Award, or you just saw this on the cover like, what's with this little hockey player and his little pie?
The Goodreads Choice Awards mostly because I hadn't read like any of the graphic novels that were nominated.
All I've read was Harleen, yeah.
And I wasn't particularly interested in any of them, but this one looked fun, and I did like it. I would say it's more in the vein of Scott Pilgrim than Archie, but it's not really Scott Pilgrim-y. I think it's more for that crowd than the Archie crowd. Okay. I liked it. I put volume 2 on hold.
All right.
I'll see Biddy's story through.
Boy, I went on Goodreads. I went to like the comments section of the new releases. I don't know why I thought Goodreads would be the exception for a comments section online. It was terrible. Just people complaining about why things shouldn't be nominated for Goodreads Choice Awards. Like, it's not even out, so people are just voting. It's like, yeah, what do you think? Goodreads is owned by Amazon, you idiots. Mm-hmm. There's not this altruistic... Ugh. Anyway, I open Goodreads and I get a giant ad that says, "You should read Out of Her Mind by T.R. Rangan. Why haven't you read it yet? Get it from Amazon!" So, anyway.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm glad you like this.
Don't look at comments section, I think is the takeaway.
I'm glad you like this. Would I like this?
No, I don't think so.
I like Spot Pilgrim.
Yeah, I don't think that you would dislike it, but I think you'd sort of finish it and be like, huh, okay. Right. Like I don't...
Yeah. I read The Wicked and the Divine, Volume 2.
Oh, yeah.
Fandemonium. So that title kind of deserves, like, getting punched, right?
I remember talking about this last week, but I can't remember. Did you like Volume 1? Were you in?
No, I thought Volume 1 was weird, and I didn't connect with the whole, our point of view character. I didn't understand why she was there, and why she was seeing the thing. I didn't understand why she had access. It didn't really connect with me at all. And this is by Kieran Gillian. So I was like, all right, I'll read Volume 2. I think I had already put it on hold. And it came, and while reading Volume 2, I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm not reading this series anymore. Yeah. It's just weird. It's not doing it for me. And then I read the last issue, and it ends on such a ridiculous cliffhanger that I did put Volume 3 on hold. So I really thought I was done.
Got you. Yeah.
I was like, I can abandon this series. Lord knows I've never finished 100 Bullets or DMZ. But yes, the way this volume ended is in a way like, well, okay, then I don't know what's going to happen next. I have to at least see where this goes. So congratulations to Kieran Gillian surprising me.
Yeah.
At issue 11, I was not expecting it. So,
yeah.
Kieran Gillian, that's a success story. I mean, he used to do like video game reviews on Rock Paper Shotgun. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, and now he's, publishing his own comics and writing the X-Men and stuff. I mean, congratulations, but maybe do something less weird. He's got other series I'd like to read. I was in a library recently for because we both work in libraries, and I had to go to an orientation, so I had to go to a different building, and I went through their comic section, and even though I had a bunch out, and I've been getting them online, I grabbed a bunch from their shelves as well. So it's been a while since I had that opportunity too.
Yeah, that's handy.
So more stuff to read, but weird book. Same thing though, like if volume 3 doesn't really change the trajectory, I don't know. I don't know what other people are getting from this, because I'm not getting anything from it.
Okay.
Anyway, Wicked and the Divine, Volume 2. Read it.
Two
Comic Book Coffee Breaks gives a 2 thumbs up recommendation. Oh, I still have one more comic, and you're done.
You keep coming back, though. Yeah, hit me. What do you got? You know what I can tell you about? I can tell you about that I finished the game Gnome's Garden on Xbox. It was a good time.
Okay.
It's one of those ones where, like, you start in a little cabin, and you have to assign your little guys to run around and, like, gather wood and things, build up. My son and I have been playing it on and off for a long time. That was a lot of fun. I got nothing good to say about the Nickelodeon kart racer game. I don't even know what it's called, but I know that it sucks.
Is it the SpongeBob racer?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Nicktoons or something, but it's 3 characters from SpongeBob. I think maybe some Hey Arnold in there, some Rugrats in there, and then the 4 Ninja Turtles. But the courses that you go through have nothing to do with those shows. They're just sort of like these loosey-goosey things. It's all like...
How did you not get the Garfield kart racer?
This was like super, super cheap. It was like an on sale thing.
Oh, is Garfield like a full price $60 game?
Well, actually, it's always been pretty consistently $30. But
right.
It's not like you're driving through like the Rugrats living room or like the SpongeBob Kingdom or whatever. It's
kart race. Mario Kart's good at that because
there's no voice work. That's the other thing. There's no voice work at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why bother?
Don't you have a Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess Mario Kart 8 is very expensive too.
Yeah,
so
probably.
That's a good one. I mean, that they do their levels right.
I bought like in a super sale for my PS4. I bought, I think it's called Beach Buggy Racing, and it's just like a super cheap racing game. It is like leaps and bounds better than this dumb Nicktoons racer.
Okay.
So that's it. What's the last thing you read, my friend?
I finished Invincible by Robert Kirkman. Yeah. I know, started it...
Oh, the thing that's going to make me give Amazon money, that Invincible cartoon looks pretty good.
I haven't even watched anything about it. Mainly because I haven't finished it. Yeah.
It looks dead on.
J.K. Simmons is doing a voice, right? Is he playing the dad?
I think so, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Who's playing Mark?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, yeah, it's funny because I started this basically, like, almost years before you. And I've only just finished it, and you've been done with this for years yourself. Like, you read through it as fast as you could.
When, like, the last volume came out, I bought it.
Okay.
It hasn't been that long.
Anyway, I finally finished it. It's good. I was done. I was so over The Walking Dead by the time it ended. I was The Walking Dead reading that series at the end. And even the ending didn't satisfy me in a way that I was like, oh, this was worth it. This was worth getting to. Invincible nails the ending, I think. There's I agree. A lot of things are tied up, and then you get some of the comics like to do those, like, and what would it look like in 5, 10, 15, 20, and that kind of stuff. And that was cool. Robert Kirkman is kind of a pessimist. He doesn't, a lot of times, Brian K. Vaughan will do this a lot as well, where it will end and like, well, that's not so happy. Right. But even though there's pessimism throughout, like, it's still like a happy ending. I don't know if that's a spoiler. I'm not trying to spoil it. There's a lot of,
not saying who is happy in the end.
There's a lot of big fights at the end, a lot of fights in space and on the ground. My one complaint is the last issue is the original artist, who I only remembered last volume existed, and kind of has more of a cartoony style than the main art that's been through the entire book. I would have preferred just the artist to stay the one guy. But anyway, it was good. 144 issues is weird.
I know, it's insane. Yeah.
Why do 144? Yes. If you're in charge,
6 more.
Just 6 more issues. That's a trade paperback. That's a trade paperback, and then you end up 150. What's wrong with you, Robert Kirkman?
Yeah. I know, it's really insane. Well, he's the same one who ended Super Dinosaur on a cliffhanger after 4 volumes of a children's cartoon, so that's insane.
I think he did the same thing with... I
started the Invincible series in August of 2012.
Okay.
And I read the last volume just last October 2019, so 7 years.
Okay.
I was reading that series.
Wow.
What were you saying?
I started it in, like, 2007. And Invincible is one of those books that I read. I got the big like ultimate one from my library, so it had the first 12 issues or so. And it was when I was kind of I was getting into the DC universe. Okay.
I'm listening. I just was grabbing my compendiums to show you how.
I was getting into like I got my DC encyclopedia. I got this right here.
Right here.
That's
Look at this
huge.
piece.
That's
that?
insane.
That's the first compendium.
So I had gotten this for Christmas, the DC encyclopedia by DK, and so like Infinite Crisis was out and stuff, and so I was getting into like the DC universe and learning, and it was just like a crazier and different universe than Marvel, and so like reading this was like, wow, there's just so many like different types of superheroes out there and everything, and then I was getting into Astro City and Invincible, and it was just kind of opening this world of like, man, there's just so much more you can do in superheroes than just like the Marvel universe and the way you can play on tropes and stuff. So it was like I read it at the right time, but Kirkman was also able to, even though I stopped and start over the years, he's able to keep it entertaining the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm kind of nostalgic for that like wide-eyed, what's out there in this grand world, reading that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was good. Anyway, I read Invincible.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I totally agree.
Hold on, I just gotta go check the shed out back.
It's hard to. I have all 3 volumes of the compendium, and they are about as tall as a small dog when you stack them.
Yeah, even if you were to buy the hardcovers, that's still 12 massive hardcover.
Yeah.
Things, and like I saw it on eBay for like $250. I was like, I can't do that. No, thank you.
Yeah, the compendiums. I mean, they're nice because normally when a book is that big, like it's not
feasible.
Not very, it's not good to read. Whatever they did with these, like the binding is good and strong, and I actually read quite a bit of it in the compendium format. So it's served me well. That's part of the reason why I held off a little while on finishing it, because I didn't want to buy like the last 3 trade paperbacks when I knew I was going to buy the compendium. So it took them a little time to put that out. But so I haven't read anymore. Do you have a Batman that you want to share, or should we jump right to Quarter Bin?
Quarter bin.
Okay.
Quarter bin at lunch.
This is more of a spinner rack situation than a quarter bin, because this Justice Society of America #5 by Len Straczewski and Mike Parobeck came out in 1991. And I remember getting this one, and then I tried to get the rest of the series. This was maybe the first time that I was trying to follow like a current series as the issues came out. And I would have been like 8. So it was like if they had these in the grocery store, I would get it. I think it's actually only 8 issues. And a while back, they were going to put this in a trade paperback. And I was excited because I've never actually read the entire story, because the first one I picked up was issue 5, which is the one I'm going to talk about today. But then they canceled that trade paperback, and it hasn't been on the app. But today, when I was looking for it, they have uploaded it to the app, all 8 issues. So you can just hang on to that image. Wait, is it this way or this way? Which way is the image? That way? Which one am I pointing?
Your left hand. The left hand is pointing. Yeah.
Anyway, you can hang on to that, because I'm going to be reading these 8 issues for next week.
Okay.
Here's what happens, and this was my introduction. We start with Flash, and this is all Justice Society stuff. So it's like Jay Garrick, it's Alan Scott, it's the old school. Flash is making some sort of machine at super speed. It looks like a ham radio or something. You never really know what it is. Hawkman is in the other room, wings off, but he's got the old classic yellow hood on, getting fixed up by the doctor. He refuses to remove the hood to be examined, and the doctor's like, "You can't be flying around. You're up. You're hurt." And he's like, "Whatever. I'm Hawkman."
Yeah.
Outside, there's a character named Wild Eagle who's waiting for them. Hawkman scoops him up, and they all run off to Ted Knight's place. Is Ted Knight Wildcat?
That sounds right.
I was trying to remember. I mean, it's not, because Ted Kord is the Blue Beetle, but I'm pretty sure Ted Knight is Wildcat.
Ted Knight is an American actor and voice artist, well known for playing the comedic role of Ted Baxter in the Mary Tyler
Moore Show. Yeah, that's not who I mean. I mean comic book character Ted Knight.
No, Ted Knight is Starman.
Starman. Okay.
The original Starman.
Well, then what is Wildcat's name? You look that up, and I'll keep telling you. All right. So they're heading over to Ted Knight's place. So we get there. We do a hard cut to Ted Knight's place. He is clearly has been overpowered by one Vandal Savage, who is looking for some. He's looking for some kind of like thing that will bring him power.
Could Ted Grant give him power?
Is that who?
That's Wildcat. Ted Grant.
That's a lot of Teds. You
Yeah.
got Ted Cord, Ted Grant, and Ted Knight.
Yeah.
All sort of concurrent.
Yeah, and
That's
the Mary
insane.
Tyler Moore universe kind of missing its own chronology with it.
You know what? Ted Knight was a voiceover guy. The same guy from Mary Tyler Moore also did the Aquaman, swift and powerful, monarch of the ocean.
Really?
That's Ted Knight.
Wow.
So there's even a comic book connection there. The point of all this is Vandal Savage is looking to get more power.
Yeah.
They
What if
arrive-
Vandal Savage goes back in time and meets Teddy Roosevelt?
I'm sure that's happened on Legends of Tomorrow, but I'm not going to rewatch the first season for you or anyone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Teddy Roosevelt's the one that got stuck in a tub?
No, that's
Taft.
Taft. Yeah, he's a big guy. He was a big guy.
I should remember that because of the taffy.
Big guy. Yeah, too much taffy. Yep. And coincidentally, Herbert Hoover sucked. Let's see. So they arrive and they're gonna fight, but Hawkman is like, "Ooh, Papa's feeling sick," because whatever happened to him in issue 4, and I don't know because I've never read it.
Right.
He's a little out. I don't know why this happens, but the device that Flash was making, that what is his name, Wild Eagle is holding, starts going crazy, and suddenly this giant woman made of stars appears, and it's like, blah, And so they go to try to fight her.
That's not what she's
Hawkman's
like.
not doing so great,
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, like a giant dog made out of stars appears. So they're trying to fight these cosmic creatures. The dog turns into a man. Hawkman is collapsing. Flash is trying to get him out of there, but Hawkman's like, no, let's stay. And they eventually sort of make it so that the two slam into each other and they dissipate. Okay? Cut to Vandal Savage, who says, "Curse them! They've dissipated the Star Giant's energy. It will take hours for them to reform." He's very angry about it. So Savage takes matters into his own hands. He has this little, you know what? It's probably Starman's thing. That's what it looks like. So he comes out, he fights them, he takes out the Flash and Hawkman. Okay, they are donezo. Meanwhile, Wild Eagle, who's been hiding, comes out with a shotgun and is like, "It's just you and me now, baby." And Vandal Savage is like, "Is it?" And behind Wild Eagle, Solomon Grundy.
Oh, no.
On a Monday. And then to be continued. I don't know.
Oh, snap.
And I'm pretty sure that I have read volume 6, or issue 6. I'm sure that I've read it. But I neither know how this story begins or how it ends. So next week, that is my solemn oath to whatever show we're on, to Comic Book Coffee Break, that I will read it by then.
All right. Weird.
I almost said the All the Book Show.
Yeah.
And we just did our penultimate episode of that. So we're coming up on the end of an era. So you can go find us over at soundcloud.com/allthebooks to listen to all 275 numbered episodes of the All the Book Show.
And we'll continue our TED Talks over there.
Yes. Yep.
So.
Aqualad.
Yeah, you should form a team of all the TEDs.
Yeah, the TED team.
In the DC universe.
Yeah.
So.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Ted Grant.
All right. Well, if you don't have a Batman book, then I guess that's it for Comic Book Coffee.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry, I thought it'd go longer.
That's all right.
But that seemed like a pretty quick read. I guess less happened than in those crazy ones you read, and then Green Lantern finds a giant rubber band.
Well, it's newer. See, I typically do 70s, and that was 90s, so there's a lot less on the page there. There was many pages of the Star People just fighting each other while Hawkman's like, "Caca!" So.
Does Hawkman go caca?
Probably. I wasn't there. I don't know.
I don't think he has.
Oh.
I mean, I guess I could just take out my X-Men pop-out book for a little bit.
No, it's got nothing to do with Batman, though. Batman is your thing right now. I mean, that is cool, though. I mean, you are getting me there. Yeah.
It's Banshee. Banshee made the pop-up book.
Look out.
This is my favorite page. It's Colossus versus Juggernaut. So.
Pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, I got Batman stuff here, but I guess I talked Joker, Killer Smile. My apologies.
That's okay.
There was a weird thing in Killer Smile where there was also an issue, they called it a coda, it was called Batman Smile Killer. I did not care for that one at all either. So this was not great. I don't know. DC Black Label. Like, I was kind of excited about it, but they're all just Joker stories.
Oh, except for Superman.
Oh my gosh.
Superman Year One.
Well, in that situation, horrible. Frank Miller's the Joker.
I hated that.
So, Frank Miller hates us, if that helps you.
All right. Well.
All right, what are you reading this week? You weirdo? You had such a weird week.
I know.
If I had asked you last week what you were reading, would you have said any of that stuff?
I was planning on reading The Black Lightning. That was on my radar, yeah.
All right.
But the other two, that's a negative. Well, I'm definitely going to read Justice Society. I thought I might pick up some Moon Knight. What do you think about the 2011 Moon Knight series? Because that's about where I am comic book continuity-wise. So I was thinking about that. Probably some. We'll see if I get to my next Captain America Masterworks. I might do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably catch up in current DC stuff, or not current, but Rebirth. I've been sort of reading through Rebirth, and I haven't in a while, so I'll get back to that.
Right.
What about you? What do you got?
Well, obviously, I'm going to read Volume 3 of Wicked and the Divine.
Yeah, I don't know why you do it to
and
yourself,
see what has happened. 2011 Moon Knight. Do you know who the writer is? I'm trying to remember which one that is. Is that the...
No, I don't remember. I just put it on my list.
Is that the Bendis run?
Maybe.
I think it's the Michael Bendis one. Yeah, you might like it. I think it's pretty self-contained.
Okay. Moon Knight was in the Secret Avengers I was reading right about this time as well, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, I was kind of thinking I'd give that a shot.
That might have been coming off of... No, that was 2007.
Okay.
So, yeah, that'd be fine, I think. You're good. I liked it more than I thought it would. Yeah, what else am I going to be reading then? I got some Batman stuff. I got some other, like, standalone Image comic-ish stuff, I think. But yeah, now that Invincible's done, I was also thinking, like, what long-term series do I have that I need to finish? So I have to kind of dig through some stuff.
Yep.
So anyway.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I've got a huge pile, but I think... Do I even have any of these Mark Miller books left? I don't think so. I think Space Bandits was the last one. So we'll see next week when I come
Dragon
back.
Hoops. Dragon Hoops is another one that I've been wanting to read.
I grabbed some YA DC stuff that just came out that the libraries just got. So.
Oh, like Lois Lane? Do you have the Lois Lane one?
No, it's a Swamp Thing one, and it's a Mr. Freeze one.
Not Swamp Kid. Oh, I did see the Mr. Freeze one.
Yeah.
I was not interested in that.
So I grabbed those two to see what's going on.
I do want to read Lois, and I want to read the Beast Boy and Raven, even though Beast Boy was lame.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens then.
All right. Well, then, those are the comics we read and the comics we hope to read. Happy comic book reading. We'll see you on the next comic book.
That's right.
Comic book!